Before the sun came up, America was already changing. Across neighborhoods, apartment complexes, and workplaces, unmarked vehicles quietly rolled into position. ICE agents weren't chasing criminals on the streets. They already knew exactly where they were going. Thousands of families woke up expecting an ordinary morning. But for many, that morning would become the moment their lives changed forever. Doors opened. Phones stopped ringing. Parents disappeared before their children even came home. Supporters called it law enforcement. Critics called it fear. And under President Donald Trump, America witnessed one of the most aggressive immigration crackdowns in modern history. But what really happened? Was this truly the biggest ICE operation America has ever seen? Or is there a much bigger story hiding behind the headlines? This is the story of America's ICE raids. Donald Trump didn't wait long. After returning to the White House, immigration once again became one of his administration's highest priorities. During his campaign, Trump made one message clear: America would enforce its immigration laws more aggressively than before. Soon after taking office, federal agencies began expanding immigration enforcement. ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, was given a central role in carrying out that mission. Across the country, enforcement operations increased. Officers searched for people with final removal orders, individuals accused or convicted of crimes, and in some cases, others who were found to be in violation of immigration laws. News reports showed videos of early morning arrests, families waiting outside detention centers, protesters filling city streets. Supporters argued that no country can function without enforcing its laws. Opponents warned that aggressive enforcement was creating fear inside immigrant communities, even among people with no criminal history. America was becoming deeply divided. But one question remained: how does an ICE raid actually begin? Who gets targeted? And how do agents find them before they ever knock on the door? That's where the story becomes even more surprising. Most people think ICE agents randomly drive through neighborhoods looking for immigrants. But the reality is very different. Most ICE operations begin long before agents arrive at a location. Investigators often spend weeks or even months collecting information. They study official records, previous immigration history, court documents, and other available information to identify a specific person. ICE agents usually don't start with a random search. They begin with a name, a case, and a reason to investigate. Before an operation happens, investigators may try to confirm where a person lives, where they work, what vehicles they use, and their daily routine. In some cases, officers conduct surveillance to understand the situation before taking action. They may watch a location and wait for the right moment to move forward. This is why many immigration enforcement operations happen early in the morning. At that time, people are more likely to be at home, and officers believe they have a better chance of finding the person they are looking for. But every ICE operation is different. Some involve individuals with previous immigration violations, while others involve people connected to larger investigations. Behind every operation is a process of gathering information, planning, and making decisions before officers ever knock on a door. And for the people inside that house, that knock can change their lives forever. The moment many families fear the most often comes before sunrise. A quiet street, a dark morning, and then a knock on the door. For the people inside, those few seconds can feel like everything has changed. When ICE officers carry out an enforcement operation, they usually arrive with a specific purpose: to locate a person connected to an immigration case or investigation. Before entering a home, officers must follow legal rules that depend on the situation. The authority they have, the documents they carry, and the circumstances of the case can determine what actions they can take. Some operations happen at homes. Others happen at workplaces or other locations connected to an investigation. When officers arrive, emotions can quickly rise. Family members may be confused. Children may not understand what is happening. Neighbors may wake up and watch from their windows. For many people, the biggest fear is not just the possibility of arrest. It is the uncertainty. What happens next? Will the family stay together? Will someone be taken away? Will they have another chance to fight their case? Every situation is different, and the outcome depends on a person's immigration history, legal options, and the details of their case. Behind every enforcement action is more than just paperwork. There are real people, real families, and real consequences. For some, an early morning operation becomes the moment their life in America changes forever. For many people, the most frightening moment does not end at the door. It begins after the arrest. After someone is taken into immigration custody, they may be transferred to a detention facility while their case moves through the legal system. Inside these facilities, people wait. Some wait for a hearing. Some wait for a decision about their future. And some wait to find out if they will be released, continue fighting their case, or be removed from the country. A detention center is not like a normal prison. People are usually held because of their immigration situation, not because they have been convicted of a crime. Life inside detention can be difficult. Many detainees are separated from their families. They may have limited communication with loved ones. They may spend days, weeks, or even longer waiting for their next step. For families outside, the uncertainty can be overwhelming. A phone call from a detention center can bring fear, confusion, and unanswered questions. What happens next depends on many factors: a person's immigration history, legal options, and the details of their individual case. Behind the walls of these facilities are thousands of personal stories. Every person has a different journey. And for many, detention becomes the moment when their entire future is decided. The final journey. For some people, the final chapter begins with a single decision. If all legal options have been exhausted, or if an immigration judge issues a final order of removal, U.S. immigration authorities begin the process of carrying out that order. The timing can vary from case to case. Some individuals leave the United States through a process known as voluntary departure, where they depart on their own under specific legal conditions. Others are removed by the government after a final order is enforced. Before departure, officials complete the necessary paperwork, verify identity, coordinate travel arrangements, and work with the destination country when required. For many people, these final hours are the hardest. There may be one last phone call, one final goodbye, one last look at the life they built. For some, years of work, friendships, and memories are left behind in a matter of hours. The journey does not end when the airplane lands. Returning to a home country often means starting over, finding work again, rebuilding relationships, adjusting to a place that may have changed while they were away. Some eventually find legal pathways to return in the future. Others are barred from returning for many years, depending on the circumstances of their case and U.S. immigration law. Behind every removal order is a different story. Some involve families seeking a better future. Some involve people who overstayed visas. Others involve individuals with complex immigration histories. No single story represents them all. Immigration enforcement is one of the most debated issues in the United States. Supporters argue that enforcing immigration law protects national security and preserves the rule of law. Critics argue that enforcement can separate families and create lasting humanitarian consequences. Both perspectives continue to shape the national conversation. Understanding the process does not require choosing a side. It requires understanding the facts. From investigation, to arrest, to detention, to the courtroom, and finally, to the last journey. This is the path that thousands of immigration cases follow every year. Every case is different. Every decision carries consequences. And behind every file, every hearing, and every final order is a human story that deserves to be understood.